Alright then, so the car is running right now. So the first thing I would like to do is make sure we check the EGR valve that is working, or the diaphragm is not deteriorated or damaged. So in this one it's pretty easy because I can just do it by hand. You can hear the engine changing the RPMs, so that's a good sign. So that tells me inside the intake manifold is nothing clogged. Now we're going to check the diaphragm, this part, but applying vacuum. So we are going to use the vacuum pump, and I'm going to make sure it's all the way there, and make sure it holds vacuum and the engine change sound, the RPM drop. There you go. So that little bit dropping on the vacuum, that's normal. Okay, I'm not making a good connection there, but I can see that it's changing RPM. So right now I can see that diaphragm working when I apply the vacuum. Let's see if I can get both. Very good. Okay, that works. Good. So one down. So this part is okay. So we're gonna put this back here on the solenoid. Okay, that's back where it needs to. Now we're gonna make sure the two sources of vacuum come into the modulator, for the vacuum modulator for the EGR. We get in the vacuum right here, okay, before we get into this part and into the solenoid going on the bottom. I want to make sure we have the vacuum here. Okay, this vacuum is going to be under acceleration, so we're going to do the same thing. We are going to unplug one at a time. And we're going to give it some gas here. So as soon as I put gas, I have the vacuum. So that means this is not clogged. This is a very common problem. One of these ports gets clogged. We don't have enough vacuum going into the module later, and your EGR is not working, not opening properly, and it gives you the 400 code, the P0400, insufficient flow, EGR insufficient flow. Okay, so we're gonna do the other side. And let's see if I can do this. Oh, that one is not working. Goodness. Yes. That's working. So we got two sources of vacuum. Now, one is going to be faster than the other one because one is behind the throttle, okay, the venturi. So it's always going to have more vacuum because it's already sucking. The other one is going to have a little bit less because it's going to be actuated, that one, when you accelerate. Okay, there's two sources. One has to be most of the time there, what both are, and one is going to be really fast to apply the vacuum. The other one you have to give it a little more RPM so it can activate the second one. Alright, so now we gotta go into this one. Okay, I'm running out of time to record. So now the vacuum module later, we're gonna make sure this here is come from the exhaust. It should be, it applies pressure so that way the diaphragm moves up and allow the vacuum to go from one port to the next and comes to the solenoid. So this one right here, we're gonna apply vacuum to see if he hold the vacuum. That means we're okay with that. If he doesn't hold the vacuum, that's gonna be a problem. Nothing. So this is the problem at the moment. We gotta replace this. There's no point to continue if this is bad. Okay, I got a new one here. So we're gonna apply vacuum in the same area, and it should hold the vacuum. There you go. Okay, we're gonna replace it. I'll be right back. I replaced the modulator. Now we're gonna see if under acceleration we get in some vacuum.